Hey, are you here? Look, we know you're here, but we won't tell anyone. We know it's your secret. But one day we hope it's not a secret and you'll tell everyone that you listen to the Paul Leslie Hour. Okay? Hey, today we've got a short interview from the archives with roots, blues, and world musician Corey Harris. This originally aired back in 2008, but now we're bringing it out there for everybody. Now, Paul had this interview with Corey Harris in Athens, Georgia, just before one of Corey's concerts. Singer, songwriter, guitarist, bandleader, and recording artist Corey Harris currently lives in Charlottesville, Virginia, but spends most of his time on the road singing and performing for the masses. He's a Bates College-educated blues and reggae musician. Some of you may recall our interview with the late Henry Butler. Well, Corey Harris recorded an album with legendary New Orleans, Louisiana pianist Henry Butler. That's a great album to check out, but Corey's solo album, Daily Bread, is a great one to listen to as well. Hey, real quick, we believe all these interviews we put out there tell the human story. There are lots of great interviews that still need to see the light of day, and you can help give yourself and others the gift of stories by contributing to the show. Simple. Just visit www.thepaulleslie.com/support. And we thank you. So let's get this interview playing. Corey Harris, he's carrying on the tradition of African-influenced blues music. His musical soul comes from a world perspective, and his songs make you think. So, let's listen together.
We're backstage at the Melting Point with Mr. Corey Harris. He's about to show everyone what music is about.
Yeah.
Welcome to the show, Corey.
Thank you.
So you have so much music, and you've been playing with a lot of people. What got you started in music?
Just a mixture of going to church, listening to music as a kid. And, just my family had records around the house, and I just always liked music, So it wasn't hard to, start with those surroundings. I didn't really have any musician close to me, but as far as music, there was a lot of that.
And what have you been listening to lately?
Well, let's see. Today on the drive, I listened to the JB Horns live. I listened to Sugar Minot. What else did we listen to? Well, recently I've been listening a lot to music from Guinea. Actually, some recordings I made of a friend of mine who's a really good guitar player. I guess that's an understatement. His name is Mohammed Kouyaté, and actually he's coming to the States in about 3 weeks to tour with me. He's going to stay with me for about 2 months. He's from Guinea, West Africa, and I just left there in December. I was over there setting up his trip and everything. So I've been listening to his playing. He's a great guitar player. He plays a lot of traditional griot songs, as well as he's a really good jazz player too. So been doing that. But basically, when I'm left to myself, I like cultural music. So I listen to reggae, I listen to African music a lot, and I listen to jazz. Whatever else. Sometimes I feel like listening to blues. I don't listen to blues as much as I used to, I find. But I guess it's kind of up in the air as to what blues is blues and what blues is not blues. And, in my mind, it's all kind of in the same tree, you know what I mean?
One of the artists you recorded with is an artist that a lot of our listeners are familiar with, and that's Mr. Henry Butler.
Yeah.
So tell us about your album that you did with Mr. Butler.
Well, that was on Alligator Records. I believe that came out in 2000. And it was a joy to do the record. We haven't done anything since. But it was real fun to do that record. I had a great time. And it's done well for us, not so much in terms of sales per se, but it's gotten us gigs. Henry and I've been to Australia and New Zealand on that record, and played shows in Europe and US and Canada also.
As far as your musical heroes, who would you say are your musical heroes?
Wow, there's so many, so many. Well, I'd have to say Jelly Madi Tunkara. Jelly Madi, he's from Mali. You want me to spell his name? You got it.
Yeah, so
Okay, it's DJELIMADY. That's his first name, and his last name is Pounkara, And as far as guitar playing, breadth of command of style, and then arrangement, it's amazing to hear what he does. He's got a record called Sigi, and it's on La Belle Bleu Records out of France. And great record, man. Really a wonderful arrangement. It's all traditional. Well, some of it's traditional, and some of it's like contemporary takes on traditional themes. But the instrumentation is all acoustic, with vocals and lots of percussion, of course. But that's one of my big guitar heroes and heroes for music. It's Jelly Madi Tunkara. And then, I really like Burning Spear. I'm a big Burning Spear fan. I had the chance to open up for him a couple times. So there's so many though, it's hard to say. I mean, I really like Silford Walker. He's another reggae singer. He's passed away. And I guess that's all I can come to with right now.
you were mentioning that you were recently in the Caribbean, and I saw you were going to be playing in Key West soon.
Mm-hmm.
And it seems like you play a lot of interesting places.
Yeah, I do.
Out of all the places that you played, what's your favorite place to play?
Well, my favorite place, I don't know. Really anywhere in the Caribbean or Africa is my favorite place, or South America for that matter. I've done a lot of work in Brazil and Guyana, and some in the Caribbean, and also I've been to Africa many times, and played gigs there. So, there it's really personally satisfying for me to be able to go there and instead of just entertaining people, really do something in the spirit of an exchange.
And one artist that's given you a lot of recognition would be Dave Matthews.
Mm-hmm.
How did you connect with him?
Well, we live in the same town. Dave, is not originally from Charlottesville, neither am I, but we both live in Charlottesville, Virginia. And there was a time when Dave's manager was also my manager. And so I think that's how that came about, but I knew Dave before he was all famous, as did most of the people did in Charlottesville. So that probably helps too, just knew me from being around.
How did you come with the title Daily Bread for your latest album?
Because it's what I do. Music is my daily bread. That's how I eat and support my family. So, on the real, it's not something I really do for money, and it's definitely a struggle even today to be able to support a family and, do all the things you need to do to make everyone provided for. But it's also, something that you got to do every day, so it requires a certain amount of stamina and endurance, and also you got to keep a level head because there's a lot of distractions and stresses out on the road, So, but yeah, it's really, when I think about it, the title's just referring to my life as it is now,
What is it that you hope people get out of your music?
Well, I hope people can open their mind. Those who have a tendency not to want to open their minds to new information or new vibrations. So that's my goal, is to widen people's encounter with the world through the things that I've come across.
And my last question to you. This program goes out all over the world.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. So what would you, Corey Harris, like to say to the world?
Well, I don't know what to say that I haven't already said. But I feel that this is a very serious and crucial time for us as human beings and in world history. And I see the next several years, they're coming to bear a lot of crises, like energy crises, environmental crises, crises of employment. And we're already in this country and in the Western world in general in a crisis of we don't have self-knowledge. We don't know who we are and where we're coming from as much as we need to be, and not nearly as much as other nations. Because I travel, and really in America, there's many of us who are caught up in the materialism and the commercialism, and that's caused us to really betray our roots. And really, I think that we need to know our history, all of us, and stop dealing in just this culture that doesn't last, the stuff you see on TV and in the movies and that sort of thing. It's very impermanent. So I think we need to really grasp onto things we can hold on to, like raising our children with a righteous frame of mind, raising our children so they know that it's all the world isn't like the United States, and letting them, sure, we all have passports, but, we need to rise above all this schism with, I'm from this nation, you're from that nation. Because no matter who we are, if you're German American, African American, whatever, you've got roots, and so we should know what those are, because, this is a young republic, other countries look at us and we're pretty young, still. And there's a lot more depth to us than we're showing, all of us. There's a lot more, and so I really hope that people hold on to what they are, and express that and share that. So that's what I would say with the world, that we need to really turn back and look at where we're coming from to know where we're going.
Very well spoken, and thank you for coming on our show.
Thank you.
We thank you and appreciate you dropping in for the Paul Leslie Hour today. You can help the Paul Leslie Hour in our mission to provide independent media content like this by visiting www.thepaulleslie.com/support. We truly thank you. This is your announcer speaking. Performance of The Entertainer intro song and Corina Corina outro song, courtesy of John Primorano. Well, that's it for today. So until next time, be safe and be good.